Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and I'll be reading Deuteronomy 25 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, "If there be a controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down and to be beaten before his face, according to his fault, by a certain number. 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed, lest if he should exceed, and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brother should seem vile unto thee. Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her. And it shall be, that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate of the elders, and say, My husband's brother refuseth to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoes from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, So shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that hath his shoe loosed. When men strive together one with another, and the wife of the one draweth near for to deliver her husband out of the hand of him that smiteth him, and putteth forth her hand, and taketh him by the secrets, then thou shalt cut off her hand, thine eye shall not pity her. Thou shalt not have in thy bag divers weights, a great and a small. Thou shalt not have in thine house divers measures, a great and a small. But thou shalt have a perfect and just weight, a perfect and just measure shalt thou have, that thy days may be lengthened in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. For all that do such things, and all that do unrighteously, are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not God. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance, to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it." Alright guys, so many things in this chapter. One being that when the children of Israel's brothers died, right, and their wives were made widows, then the brother would take on the brother's wife to be his wife, so that his brother's name will continue. If we recall, the Israelites women, they went to Moses and asked what should happen to the inheritance of their household, seeing that their father died and there were no sons among them. And as we know, the birthright is passed on to the eldest son. There was no law that the birthright was passed down onto a female. And so in order that they would actually keep that within the family, the right or the ownership of whatever it was that was theirs in the family that their father left behind, then it would have been passed on to the daughters, and also it would not leave from one household or one tribe to another tribe. It would remain within a tribe, and so the daughters had to marry within their tribes so that all the inheritance that is given unto that tribe remains within that tribe. And basically, the same concept goes here, right? When your brother's wife dies, then you will actually you will actually step in as the husband, right? And bring forth a child to be the heir to your brother, to carry on your brother's name, even though it is not yours. And as you recall, one of why can't I remember his name off the top of my head now? In prior chapters, I think it was in Exodus. No, sorry, Genesis. It was indeed in Genesis, where one of the seed, Exodus was in Egypt. Exodus started in Egypt, the journey, the starting of a new age within Egypt. Right, so it was in Genesis, where what happened was that they were two sons, and what happened was that the woman's am I trying to remember who it happened to, and I can't recall. But anyways, my head's not working so good right now, guys. It's really late and I'm really tired. Alright, so what happened was that this man had three sons, and his eldest son married, but his eldest son died. And what happened was that after the eldest son died, then the father followed the tradition to give the daughter-in-law to the second son. But the second son had intercourse with the widow, his brother's widow, to take her as wife, but he did not want his brother's name to live on, and so he spilled his seed to ensure that she was not impregnated, and that the Lord saw that as a sin, very malicious, and the Lord killed him. The Lord smote him down. And in order for that not to occur with their last son, what the father did was to send away his son's widow to her house which he came from, right? So that she would actually remain there. She promised him that he would give his last son to her, give her to his last son as a wife, because his son was young at that time, right? So this was their last son remaining, guys, their last son. So he did not do as he had promised, and the daughter-in-law heard that he was going along, to his sheep, to tend his sheep, and I'm guessing it was a big city where they actually tend to their sheep, like a gathering. That's what I get from it when I read it. Okay, when I read the Bible, I doze off into my own imagination, okay, into my mind, and start thinking how it would have been, okay? And that's how you enjoy the Bible, guys. You have to have an imaginative mind, okay? So yeah, so what happened is that he went and he was passing by. She heard that he was passing by, and the years have passed, and his son was of age, and still they did not come to collect her to be his wife. And so she went along the wayside, dressed up as a prostitute, and seduced him to come in unto her. And he did, and they slept together, and she kept his, they call it a vow. That's what they call it, a vow. And so she kept them, and when she kept them, he was supposed to bring payment for her. So those were what he kept as the vows for the payment. And what happened was that he came looking for a whore, not knowing that it was his daughter-in-law that he actually slept with, and she became pregnant. And we all know, I think y'all know how the story goes. I'm sorry, I'm gonna find the verse for you guys, but yeah, if you listen to the videos, you'll hear it at some point in time. But it was in Genesis, all right? And we see where he was woeful in the end, because he was the one. He even tried to prosecute his daughter-in-law, saying that she slept with many men, but he was the one she slept with, and he knew once she had given him the clothing that he had left behind with the so-called whore or prostitute that he slept with. So the child was indeed his. And we don't want that to happen. God wants you to adhere to what he had instituted. And so he's saying here, and Moses is reminding them here that, okay, if your brother dies and leaves behind his wife, then it's your duty to take up that mantle and treat her as a wife and carry out your duties as his brother. Okay? Take her as a wife. Alright, guys. So this was really long, me going on and on. Sorry about that, especially about Bible verse that you guys already heard, because I already recorded a video for it. So yeah, guys, sorry about that. All right, guys. So that was the main thing I got from this. There are other things, but that was the main thing I got from this. Okay, so we ought to be our brother's keeper. That is what is being said here, basically. God likes when you are your brother's keeper. He intends for you to be your brother's keeper. Even when when Abel and Cain were outside the Garden of Eden, right? And they were there, and Cain had killed Abel, and God had asked him, "Where's your brother?" And he's like, "I'm not my brother's keeper." Can you just imagine how angry God was with that? Because he intends for us all to be our brother's keeper. And if you realize, the second most important commandment, as said by Jesus, is love thy neighbor as thyself. And who's your neighbor? Everybody that you come into contact with, everybody that you have any form of correspondence with, any form of communication with, is your neighbor. And so you ought to show them love. Alright, guys, so that's basically what this is saying. If you want something for yourself, do it for others. Be your brother's keeper. And your brother is basically your neighbor. Anybody that you are in, well, it's not as wide as a neighbor, but it's anybody that you are in close proximity to, where it relates to an emotional connection and where it relates to family lineage. Okay? Alright, guys, that's gonna be it. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Alright, so guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you're alerted to whenever a new audio video is posted. Okay, guys, have yourselves a blessed day. And guys, please don't forget to share your comments, your thoughts, your concerns, and any revelations you've gotten, or anything that you think is of interest that you should point out. Please do so in the comment section below. Okay, have yourself a blessed day. Bye.